Hi everyone, my name's Luis.
I'm Alex.
And we're Titas on Lockdown, a place where we talk about pop culture,
current events, pseudo-intellectual discussions,
and other Tita pursuits.
Hi!
Welcome.
So anyway, if you saw our first video, that was our very first video together, it occurred to us to explain to you why. Basically, if you ever came across our first video and watched the entire thing, the entire 20 minutes of it.
Kudos to you.
Yeah. And then you said, why? This video answers that question. Like I said, we got through our first video together, and Luis said to me that
it was terrible. It looked so newbie.
Yeah, and
is that even a word?
Painful in its noobness. That's what I'm reading from his. I quote him. Kinda, sorta terrible and painful in its noobness. And I definitely agree. I mean, we're learning as we go, and it's it's a fun thing to do. Also, it's a marketable skill. I'm not kidding about that. Not having a YouTube channel, that's not the marketable skill. It's knowing how to make a video channel. Knowing how to make videos, knowing how to talk to a camera, engagement. That's the word, engagement.
Which in the first few videos that we're going to show you how not to do it.
I thought the first, second video, we can talk about why, how, and what were you thinking? So anyway, why did we create a YouTube channel?
I think partly because we're curious about where this goes, and yeah, it's something that we have talked about together for a long time. We have these fantasies that we end up as great celebrities, which is, very, very stupid, but it's nice if it's like 12 p.m. and you're smoking outside. No, not 12 p.m. Midnight and you're smoking outside after work.
Yeah, when it was still allowed to smoke outside. So like Louis said, a long time. We've been talking about this a long time. And like climbing Mount Everest, not with the same effort, of course. We're doing this because it's there. I mean, because YouTube is there and it's free. And I watch a lot of vlogs, and I thought, why not us? Like any good delusional person, you see someone talented do something, you go, I can do that too.
Yeah.
This is why.
As for me, I like looking at my fat face on camera because I'd like to be reminded that I hate myself. And, that sort of torture keeps me slim. It doesn't make me eat. Really, it doesn't. Keeps me so skinny.
Anyway, next question. Why was that our first topic?
For the longest time, Alex and I... I remember that there was a time when Alex called me and she was asking if it was offensive of her to like a BL or boy love series. And for me, I felt at that time that it was sort of a social, cultural minefield in a way that boy love usually puts two men together as love interests. And on her side, she was maybe thinking, am I fetishizing gay men here? She, as a straight woman, was thinking that. And on my side, was thinking that maybe... what right do I have to police what women want? But then again, it fetishizes gay men from a perspective that's not from gay men. So yeah, it's a lot to take in.
It's a lot to take in, and I think that we are uniquely qualified to talk about stuff like that. Not just because I'm straight. Not because I'm straight and Luis is gay. It's not that. It's more of we have these discussions about these things, and we have a tendency to overthink things. And I thought, what better way or what better topic to talk about than something that you overthink about? Because if you overthink, you overtalk. And if you overtalk, you have a lot of content. What did we learn from our first video?
Oh God, a lot. For instance, when I noticed the first video, I play a lot with my hair, and that doesn't really look nice on camera. Also, there was a point where I was eating while talking, and
we both were.
Yeah, the view of your mouth masticating food is not great. Unless it's a mukbang.
I think for me, it's the fact that I do this a lot like my eyes roll up, which should signify that I'm thinking. But on camera, it looks like I'm possessed. So, learn to look at the lens. Look at the lens.
It's harder than it looks, right?
Yeah, it is so much hard. Try it. If you have a camera, try recording yourself, especially if you have like a screen that flips out, like I do with this one. Try just looking at the lens, straight at the lens the entire time. No, doing this. This is fine for a few seconds, maybe 1 or 2. But for the entire time when someone else is talking and you do this or do that, you look like you've been possessed.
Yeah, that's what I was doing while she was talking, looking at the lens. It's harder.
Yeah,
because the thing is, you get distracted. But maybe I should engage with my friend.
Yeah, or look at the person beside you,
or look at the books here on display.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's hard.
What do we want out of this channel?
Do we want something out of this channel besides money? Eventually.
Honestly, I just need to be able to use the gear I bought, and I've got quite a few like really cheap equipment, really cheap ones. But I thought I have to be able to use it, otherwise, I'm just a hoarder. So I thought I should be able to make get some use out of it.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's also important that, especially now that it's a pandemic, that I have something to look forward to. I have something to work on, because we've been at it for 10 months already, since March last year, March 2020. And sometimes it gets to you, like I wouldn't say sad, for me, I wouldn't say it was sadness per se, but it's more of the constant feeling of hopelessness of when will this end? So yeah, sometimes it sort of crosses over to despair. And yeah, I think this is healthy for me, because like before we shoot a video, I would shower. So yeah, I get to human on that day.
Exactly. Also, because I have a thing about making plans. I usually don't follow through, but I make plans. Now, I can't because of the pandemic. I mean, what are you going to plan to do? You can't plan to travel because you don't know if you're allowed to travel. But I have a spreadsheet of ideas and dates and stuff, like so much. Here's another question that I didn't write down. Why don't we want our friends to see this?
Here's the thing, Alex and I are very, very judgmental people. We don't normally judge others in front of them, but in our heads, it's all rotten and festering hatred. So if you're that kind of person, you kind of attract the same people in your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't really care about what total strangers think of us, but we care deeply about what our friends think about us. And since they're probably as judgmental as us, yeah, so this is why we didn't really tell them.
Exactly. But I'm kind of getting over that, the whole not wanting and not telling them. But I want to preface that, like, if ever we would tell our friends, we would say, hey, you know what, like, just out of the blue, just saying, oh yeah, what did you do yesterday? And I was like, we did a video together. Like, really? And I'm not going to volunteer the link. I will wait for them to ask for the link. If they don't ask, I'm not going to tell them. But if they don't ask, I'm going to judge them. Like, you don't really care about my interests because you didn't ask.
I thought you loved me. I thought I was your friend.
Here's the crux of why we're doing this. It's fun.
It is.
It's fun.
It's something new.
Yeah. How long until we get canceled?
I think you have to be relevant first before you can be canceled, right?
True.
And yeah, I have a tendency to say really, really crass jokes that it doesn't really toe the line between irony and offensiveness. I just think so because I'm deluded that way. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't really carry over if it's not face to face. So yeah, that's a danger that I'm watchful about right now and very cautious about it. Yeah.
I think I can pinpoint one instance in the first video where I might be canceled when I said, dude, you're not straight. Like, am I the arbiter of things not being straight or being straight? But To be honest, I wasn't trying to be offensive at that time. I didn't mean it in a mean way. Mostly I'm just saying, you are a pretty boy gazing very lovingly at a pretty boy. Are you sure you're straight? You know, something like that.
Yeah.
It's not out of meanness. Do we truly, honestly, from the bottom of our shriveled little hearts, want to be YouTube famous?
I just really like the money if it ever comes, and that's it. Because yeah, we've read a lot about
Yeah.
like celebrities, not that we're at that level, and some YouTube stars like they would lose a sense of themselves once
Yeah.
they become famous. Like YouTube starts eating up their lives,
True.
and it's hard for us because we have day jobs
Yeah.
that pay the bills.
Exactly.
So yeah, as of right now,
Do we truly want to be YouTube famous?
I just want to be YouTube rich, but not YouTube famous.
That goes hand in hand, I think.
Yeah.
But
Again, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
true. So we don't really have a lot of subscribers, and by we don't have a lot of subscribers, I think we have 3, and that's 1, 2, and a friend. You might come across this, video, and you think, like, do these people think they're gonna get famous out of this? This is the answer. No, we don't think we're gonna get famous out of this. But if it happens, we are ready. We are willing.
We are ready.
We are prepared.
We are prepared. Well, anyway, if you have any feedback or comments, and if you have an opinion about things that we need to work on, please leave a message down below. We'll make sure to read it and apply it next time.
Yeah.
Again, folks, thank you for your time, and we hope to see you next week.
We'll see you next week for a continuation of our discussion of Together the series.
Yay! See you
Bye.
guys.